You have an ID?
No, I don't want to give it to you. Why do I have to?
Because my attorney
Why do I have to give it to you? This is evidence. Evidence. She's under arrest. I have to go with. I have to go. I have to go. You don't have that choice. Let me help you out. No, I have to stay. Please stop this.
Donna Adelson being arrested where? At the airport. One-way ticket to somewhere overseas, Vietnam, Dubai. What's going on there, right? That was after Charlie, her son's guilty verdict for helping mastermind the murder of Donna's ex-son-in-law, Dan Markel, her daughter's ex, in the middle of the custody battle. Well, now Donna Adelson is claiming that she's a victim behind bars. Take a look at some of these allegations. First, that there was an alleged sexual attack against Donna Adelson. Happened while Donna was showering. Another inmate ran her hand up her spine from above her buttocks and asked Donna if she liked it. Donna screamed and caused the aggressor to leave the area. Donna Adelson also the victim of an alleged physical attack. I'll try to get that first one out of your mind, the images out of your mind. Donna was standing and facing her bunk bed. Another inmate slammed into her from behind, knocking her into the frame of the bed. When Donna asked why, the inmate replied, "Because you're a bleeping killer." Then there's the Donna Adelson alleged commissary attack. Donna was bent over, brushing her teeth. Another inmate jerked her left arm violently away from the sink and up her back. Another larger inmate came in and said she knew Donna got canteen and was going to get canteen for her now, too. I've seen that in the movies a million times, right? The new one comes in, the other one comes in. Usually it's like at the cafeteria, right? Where they take their dessert, you know, they have some bread pudding or something. You know, I want that. Boom, you have to give it up. So these are serious attacks, right? A sexual attack, physical attack. They're going after her canteen goods. Why is this relevant? What's the importance of it? Well, first, she's getting protective custody now, according to the folks in charge of the jail. But also, she's trying to get out. She's trying to get out on bond before her trial. Mrs. Adelson is a 75-year-old woman with physical impediments, with no prior criminal history, and no disciplinary issues during her entire incarceration at the Leon County Detention Center for the past 14 months. There are no allegations that she personally engaged in any conduct herself that resulted in any harm to anyone, including Mr. Markel. Mrs. Adelson has no passport and has been placed on a no-flight list and thus cannot schedule a flight bound for any domestic or foreign destination. Her husband is 80 years old and would relocate to live with Mrs. Adelson in Tallahassee, Florida, from release through trial. So, what do we think of these attacks? What do we think of the application to get bond? Let's bring back in our think tank, Al Wunsch III, Darnell Crossland, Jennifer Brandt. Darnell, is she making some valid arguments here, or does the arrest at the airport with a one-way ticket sort of override all that?
That's a tough one because during the COVID or shortly after that, there was a lot of federal courts granting what they call compassionate relief motions. And so she's building up something similar to that by her age, the fact that, you know, she's being attacked, et cetera. Now, obviously, they have to look to see if she's a risk to herself, the community, and there's a bunch of other factors. And flight risk is just one of them. And if there's, the federal courts say if there's one condition or a set of conditions that could assure the person will return to court and also not be a risk to anyone, they should institute that. So they have her passport. Her husband is going to be with her. She's 75 years old. I think she's making a good argument. I'd make it as well.
Jennifer Brandt, what are your thoughts about Donna Adelson being released pre-trial, still presumed innocent?
I mean, I think that there's probably some validity to what she's claiming in prison, and I mean, it can be proved. But I mean, she is vulnerable there. I mean, she's older. She's never been in prison before. She's not a hardened criminal. You know, there's some serious allegations against her for sure. But I mean, I tend to agree. Is she really a flight risk? She can't fly anywhere. They took her passport. She's not going to be getting on the next plane. And while, you know, we'd like to say, well, she should be treated the same as other people who are similarly situated. I mean, she is 75 years old, and maybe she is a bit, you know, maybe it would be best for her to be outside of the prison, just awaiting her trial, as long as it can be guaranteed that she stays where she's supposed to stay and not taking off anywhere, trying to get out of the country again.
All right, Al, what are your thoughts? Is there a way to release her and keep an eye on her? And Harvey?
No fly zone, no fly, you know, list or whatever. Doesn't mean you can't get on a boat, okay? It doesn't mean that she doesn't have the money to be able to get somewhere outside of the United States, okay? There's nothing that has been done to her that is extraordinary by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, she wasn't beaten within an inch of her life, thank God, okay? There's nothing along the lines other than simple hazing that's going on with regards to the jail on a woman that they know, okay, has money, all right? And a woman that they know has, you know, some ability to get money into the commissary and things along those lines. A simple touching at the shower, uncomfortable, but not necessarily a situation that would put yourself in a position.
Up the spine, Al.
It is not a, you know, a rape or anything along those lines.
Okay.
There's nothing here that says to me that there's a need to let her out. She's in protective custody. She's getting what she wants.
Good news is her trial's coming up soon.
Life by inches.
What's that?
It's good to know that Al measures life by inches.
Here we go.
What?
I don't know what that means, but
I don't know
we'll be back.
either, but then
We've
again.
got more. Donna Adelson trying to get some evidence tossed from the trial. It was a phone call when it was being recorded, and I don't think she knew she was being recorded.
How many times do we have plans that I really can't and have to cancel? Wendy needs us for this. Wendy needs us to babysit. So we've been really good nannies, and I guess our job is up. Because now the boys are older, they can go out with friends, they can do things on their own. So she doesn't need grandma and grandpa. Okay, pretty hurtful. I have one son that I don't speak with. I have one son who's close to being dead. And my daughter, whom I love, is doing this. I don't get it. I don't get it. I said to Harvey, I swear to God, our family was cursed, absolutely cursed, and I don't know how to take care of it anymore. So.
That's Donna Adelson. And she had made a call, or her son, Charlie Adelson, had made a call to her. Now, during the course of the call, Charlie got disconnected. And what I believe is that Donna Adelson believed that, okay, the phone call's over. Because you know when you get the call from the jail, they tell you everything's being recorded. But Charlie's disconnected, so at this point she doesn't think she's being recorded, but she is. And we're getting incredible insight and some incriminating statements from Donna Adelson. Take a listen.
The jury didn't do anything improper, like, what's your reason for wanting to do trial?
If there was an appeal, would it have to be in Tallahassee, or can you move it? Because I don't understand why they wouldn't let you move the venue. I don't. It was blatantly, I mean, look, I have, I didn't say this to you before I picked up the phone, but there's a lot of things that we have to do, and we've got a very tight time frame. So one of them involves taking care of some things for Roman, taking care of some things through Steinberg. Chad's been on the phone all day, and Susan was nice enough when I told her. She said, I'm going to gather everything up and I'm going to drive down. So she and Rick got here about, I don't know, 10 minutes before you called so that she could work with us because we got a couple of hours of stuff to take care of for Roman. So working on that and just a lot, but you're going to be okay. You're going to get out of that stupid room. Once you do, you'll start to feel a little bit better. I know that. And when I have something that I do need to tell you, I'll speak to Dan. Okay? So, and then I'll let you know what time to call him. Can you hear me, Charlie? You can't hear me again, right? Charlie, can you hear me? Can you hear me? The other thing I don't understand how my daughter could help me with it, we've been looking it up over and over. If things change, if there is extradition from Vietnam, because we've looked at all the places. I mean, I could go to Korea and China, but there's no extradition. But we're looking for places where there's no extradition. Maybe she knows about. Maybe she can look up the extradition issue before we waste our time.
Is she going to tell on you that my parents are thinking of leaving the country? My lawyer told us to do that. Okay, but if you mention it to Wendy, is Wendy going to tell?
You tell her beforehand. I need to tell you something as an attorney who doesn't talk and has nothing to do with the case. It just has to do with Mom and I and some decisions that we have to make. Yeah, I know you want to bring her up and show her where everything is. Because if the plane crash, no one's going to know where anything is or who belongs to what. So I would like her to come up here so she could see it. I don't think that's asking too much.
Let's bring in the think tank. Al Wunsch III, Darnell Cross, and Jennifer Brandt. They want to suppress this because it makes her look really bad, number one. And number two, Charlie's no longer on the call. Like the call sort of disconnected from Charlie's end. Jennifer Brandt, I mean, she clearly is trying to flee the country in this part of the call. Looking for countries without extradition. Now, she hadn't been charged yet, but she's looking for countries without extradition.
The question I have, Vinny, is like, what was going on? Didn't she hang up the phone? I mean, why? She's still talking on and on and on. I mean, she had been on a call with the
We
the
don't
jail
catch
from her
the
son.
smart ones. That's what you have to learn here on Court TV. If they're really smart, there's no trial because they don't get caught.
I mean, you're so right. She's on the phone with her son, allegedly, and then knowing that it's recorded because there is a voice that comes on and says it's going to be recorded, and then she keeps talking. She doesn't. I guess she's in such a flurry that she's not even thinking about the phone being on and her being recorded. But I don't know about suppressing it, Vinny, because clearly the message says that you're going to be recorded when you connect to that line. And whether her son dropped off or not, she kept on talking. So she was on a recorded line, and everything she said was recorded and now is going to be used against her. So
Yeah, and
I don't
Al,
think she's got a good shot at that one.
If a jury hears this, it sounds like consciousness of guilt, an attempt at flight.
For sure,
yeah. Al?
Yep, absolutely. It is clear-cut that. And that's why, Ben, I always recommend having a good travel agent that can get you to a place without extradition, without really having to ask that question. In this instance, these phone calls generally only go 20 minutes, and then the call is generally cut off, at least from the prisoner's end. She kept talking. There's no way that that's going to get suppressed. I mean, and it is consciousness of guilt. It is absolutely, absolutely a plan to flee the jurisdiction, and coming up with these different things and having somebody else look it up so that it doesn't get back to her on her Google search and thing along those lines. I mean, it's a horrific situation. I mean, this woman was cold, calculated, but foolish enough to spill her plans on a phone call to a jail.
It's unreal, Darnell. In your entire career, have you ever seen anything quite like this?
Yeah, I have. And here's the thing. Innocent people sound like Donna sometimes, because as you all witnessed, we had trials on this show where a not guilty came back and we're like, what was this jury thinking? And vice versa. So you have the Ashada Shakurs, the Stokely Carmichaels, people who fled this country who were innocent, and they found out they were innocent years later. So if Donna felt like, I don't want to put my life in the system and I want to get out of here, that just means that she wants to get out of here because she doesn't trust the system, not that she's guilty. Now, that's going to impact her bond, obviously, but I can't say that's totally conscious of guilt. Sometimes you just don't want to be caught in the crosshairs and put your life in the hands of these strangers.
What membership of the Black Panthers does she have that she wants to get out of this country because she's afraid of what's going on? Come on, let's be realistic.
She's a civil rights activist.
She was looking to flee. She had the money to get out of there, and that's what she was looking to do. Why else are you getting on a plane to go to Vietnam by any stretch of the imagination unless it is to get out of the United States? And some of the people that you mentioned that fled the country did some pretty horrific things also. So let's go from there, okay?
Jennifer, when I listened to Donna, the other part of that call is that there's something going on between her and Wendy that she doesn't trust. And the people that are with her in wherever she's making this call from are saying, don't talk to Wendy about looking for countries without extradition because she's going to tell investigators.
Yeah, I think this definitely helps Wendy because we noticed that out of the whole family, nobody's touched Wendy. Nobody's come after Wendy. And she was married to Markel. So, you know, she would seem to be the natural person. I mean, it was affecting her life directly, all of this, the custody battle, the divorce, etc. But yet they seem to be all plotting, even from what Donna's saying, without Wendy, without getting Wendy involved in it.
You know, I never looked at it that way, but it's so true that it makes Wendy look good in all of this.
Absolutely.
Unbelievable.
100%.
Well, you guys always look good on Mondays. Al Wunsch, Darnell Crossland, Jennifer Brandt, thank you so much.